Welcome to Doll HAUS, a peek inside my life as a drag queen. Hit that subscribe button and stick around. Hey dolls, welcome back to another segment of And You've Got the Audacity with your girl, Tara Ashley Austin. Tonight, I am at the Fabulous Theater Inn with someone who I find majorly accomplished. They are a singer, a drag pageant producer, a promoter, a drag queen, amazing person. I've worked with them many times, and we have formed a really great friendship. And I am interviewing her tonight to find out, where obviously she gets the audacity from. So welcome to the show, Scarlet Masters.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Oh my God.
Of course.
I didn't know you'd say such kind things about me. Oh my God. I don't know what to do with myself.
Only in front of you.
Oh yeah, behind my back.
No,
who cares? No, it's fine. But thank you so much for having me. And thank you for being my guest here tonight.
Of course. So tonight, Scarlett is doing her very first one-woman show.
Yes.
It's called Main Character Energy.
Correct.
And she is going to be belting out the most fabulous tunes. And I'm going to come in midway through the show and give her a little break and give the audience a little performance. But I decided that I wanted to sit down with her first before the show and find out how she was feeling and ask her a few amazing questions. So let's get started. First of all, I have to ask you, you do it all. Artist, pageant producer, promoter, live singer, drag queen. I ask all of my guests this question: where do you get the audacity to be so amazing?
Well, maybe she's born with it. I don't know. But
maybe Sherman
for me, it sounds so cliche, but I didn't find any spaces for people that I felt were like me. At least growing up, I grew up in like Delaware County, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb of Philly. People think that that's great.
Shout out to Delco.
Shout out to friggin' Delco, hon. But the thing is, and my makeup is still just as trashy, but everything else, for me, I really wanted to be a singer. That's always what I wanted to do. And when I started creating some shows and really creating those experiences, I like to call them, I wanted there to be more access for trans folks. I wanted there to be more access for alternative drag performers, burlesquers, people of color, things that frankly I wasn't really seeing. And I just felt as though that no one else was going to do it. So the audacity was on me to go and do it. I firmly believe that closed mouths don't get fed.
Okay, and that is so true.
And so I said, I reached out to some folks and I was like, I have talent, but I don't know. And no one really wanted to help me out in the beginning when I started. So I was like, well, fine, then I will make it myself. And here we are.
Here we are. One-woman show.
Yeah.
So I want to jump back to something that you said. You said that you create experiences, which I think is wonderful. I think that the regular drag show is kind of overrated these days, and everybody's trying to do the same thing, and everybody's trying to follow the same roadmap when it comes to just putting together a show and just like throwing four girls into a show and on a flyer and just like, putting their thing out there. What makes the experience that you're giving to people different?
I think it's more of a human experience. I try to focus on two of the things I'm most well known for is hosting and then also in singing. So for me, I try to make that personal connection with individuals so that they want to come back every time. So while social media is a growing presence for me, I think that word of mouth and me being present with people one-on-one consistently is more important. Especially in theatrical spaces or in larger spaces, your overall stage presence and what you give to people is what causes them to come back. So in creating an experience, I think it's like, do you feel welcomed? Do you want to come back? And also you can be shady and kiki and have a good time. But I also think it's really important to take people for where you're at and why they came to enjoy you and escape whatever this is that we're experiencing now. Because that's really what they come for. So that's really what they come for. They come to experience something outside of what they normally experience. The normal showgoer isn't a queer drag artist or isn't someone who sees this every day. It is someone who, works at 9 to 5 or works a job where they don't get to see this and they want to come see it to experience that. So that's mainly the business side of what those creating experiences is all about.
I love that. And, people who drag is so mainstream now that you're right. People who are working 9 to 5 who don't really know much about the community are the people who are attending these shows now. And I think it's great that our name is out there. I think that it's great that we are becoming more visible. But being visible comes with a lot of bumps in the road. So how have you dealt with the current bumps that we are encountering with the current administration?
This is the best worded way of this question. How do you feel? So I think that for me, this isn't anything new. And on my platform is as a president and CEO of a nonprofit, and in working with folks in policy outside of my performance aspects. I think that the important thing to recognize is I've been having shows in like Marydale, Delaware, and the Boondocks of Baltimore.
We
and
just did that show in at the theater in
Middletown, the Everett Theater.
Like, I think that was Middletown's first drag show ever.
It actually was. And the crazy part is, after that show, I spoke with 6 different business owners who were like, please come back. However, they're also worried about the current climate and the conditions behind it. I think that my point in saying that is being the bumper, we'll say, for queer people in areas that normally queer people don't feel welcomed, is something that I feel is very important to me to continue that kind of legacy. I had come from, especially coming from Delco, it's mostly Republican folks, just, to say it, conservative folks, who weren't really sure what this was or what I looked like or what that looked like outside of that. And I was able to get a lot of those folks to come around. My dad was someone who didn't enjoy being queer or any part of it. We didn't speak.
I love that he came
around. The point of that is we didn't speak until I was 25. He's the chief of police. And now he'll be here tonight because now he supports it. We've had multiple conversations. It's also caused a different worldview change for him as well. So I think that giving people that are willing to be educated the chance, and I 100%. Say that, please clock the willing to be educated a chance.
That should be in all caps in this
is very important. And I think that the shows are a nice buffer of saying like, hey, we can kiki and have fun. You can listen to people sing, do drag, have a good time. But also I do get on a soapbox at every show and I say, this is why we're here. This is why drag exists. This is why we do these things. And I think that's a responsibility. So
I love that. Like, for me, drag is literally a big fuck you to the patriarchy and all the rules that are set in place to tell people that they can't live outside of this box that is meant for people who want to just assimilate and stay in line. And like, that's not the world that we should be living in.
Absolutely.
At all. So take me back to the beginning. What first pulled you into drag, and what pulled you into being an entertainer? And did you always know this was your path?
So I went on one of those like overseas trips when I was 16 where I had to sing. I sang in Switzerland, Austria.
Oh, she's international, honey.
Listen, fuck UK versus the world. Here she is. Already
been there.
But I went to 5 different countries in Europe and sang on one of those school trips and got to do like a boy band thing in the choir experience. And I got to do all of that. And I was in musical theater for years, and it was something that I always wanted to do. I just found that musical theater wasn't always completely it for me. Like I felt that I call it the Lady Gaga syndrome. Like I was too alternative or pop for some parts of musical theater, and I was too musical theater for some of those scenes as well. So I didn't go to college when I was 18. I worked right out as a bartender and was singing and doing things. And in Philly, actually when Sharon Needles won Drag Race that year, that was when she was getting carried out in the coffin at Voyeur. And I was 18, I had a fake ID, and they were like, do you want to do it? And I was like, fuck it, and now granted, I didn't get into Voyeur that night because they realized that my ID was fake, and they were like, screw you, it's not a good one. Get the ice cream truck in South Philly, it's still there. But,
get it from China. They got a real
that
idea.
Part. The team move was, they crazy. So, but it's other than that, after that, I really enjoyed getting to meet the goddess Isis through some of that and performing. Cleopatra, who ended up becoming my pseudo drag mother, and all of those folks. Shout out to her. And I wanted to sing, and there was no one really booking singers at the time. It was very drag heavy, especially at Taboo and the Little Row Home when it was there, and Eye Candy, which we don't talk about anymore. And so yeah, no, I really wanted to sing, and that was kind of what it was, and that's really where it turned into this. Me turning into all this was certainly not expected, but I'm very grateful for it, and I've learned a lot.
And it's never that way. It's we have these talents and these things that make us special deep down inside, and a lot of people think that they should hide them because it is something that's out of the norm, and it's actually what makes everyone special. And I try to preach that as much as possible. That's what people are going to love you for, is for that thing that you do better than everyone else.
Absolutely.
So thank you for continuing to do what you do better than everybody else.
Well, thank you.
It's great. Every journey has its bumps in the road. What has been your biggest challenge so far?
Actually, recently, well, as you know, I retired for 3 seconds. That's a funny joke. I was going to say, I'm sure that was a question. But I felt like a lot of what I was doing was community related and for a lot of everyone else. And it caused a lot of me feeling inadequate in a lot of ways. That's not on anybody else, by the way. That's on me. From experiencing, how other people thought about the pageants or my events or the Pride Festival that I run or anything of that nature. And I kind of took all of those things to heart, and I wanted the community to feel safe and present. And if anyone, it didn't matter who they were, it really didn't, felt like some type of way. I took that very personally. And I mean, at the time I had gained a lot of weight. My health was not doing very well. And I was really letting a lot of negative energy affect me. So I walked away from all of it. And I spent 7 months really trying to get my brain back together and my life back together. And then ultimately came back to it with a fresh mindset, or hopefully a fresh mindset, and in understanding that I'm really my best friend throughout in the entirety of that, and got my health together and my life right, and really focused on enjoying what I enjoy and saying fuck them kids, because it's too much.
Ain't nobody got time for them damn kids.
Ain't nobody got time for them damn kids. But we do a lot in the community, and I think sometimes people don't realize how much that takes a toll on people.
Especially like trying to live up to some antiquated version of what you think people expect from you instead of just being you.
Exactly. And I also think that because my biggest side now, other than singing, is my producing side. And I find that the larger producers in areas, people, especially if we do drag as well, feel that I have discovered that a lot of people think that we are these mean, nasty beasts a lot of times, because of one interaction or one thing that might be business related. And that's really couldn't be further from the truth. And then they see that, we get along well with people they've seen on TV, or we book people like that, and we're kind of the attainable viewpoint of that. And we get a lot of shit that I don't think people really understand they're giving at times. So our main goal, and I say this of most of those producers, some are shitty people, don't get me wrong, but the main goal is to benefit community and to really connect people with those individuals and those performers they don't always get to see, so they can better themselves. We can bring all of those communities together, and people have a better experience.
I love it. You told me what brought you back in that answer, which I love, and we're so glad that you came back. I myself took a little hiatus from drag for 2.5, almost 3 years. And for me, it was just a personal decision because I was hosting the Parrot every Sunday. I did it for 9 years straight. Every Sunday I was getting banged up twice that day. Like, I would go out with my friends for brunch. We would get so drunk, mimosas out the wahoo, and then I would go home and take an 1.5-hour nap, and then I would get up, come back to the bar, and get drunk again and do the show. And then Monday was just a wash, and I was like, I cannot keep doing this. So I stepped away. It's crazy. And then I started my interior design business. I moved to DC full time, and then when I finally picked drag up, I had a brand new set of eyes because I had done all these other experiences and I had flexed all of my other creative juices and muscles. What were some things that you noticed when you came back were different?
So I also, which not a lot of people know about me, but I work in healthcare during the day. I'm a consultant for healthcare and behavioral health and rehab facilities. And so I get a lot of that in experiencing people that have significant mental health concerns or significant physical body concerns where they can't function appropriately or anything like that. And all of those types of experiences kind of taught me that at the end of the day, I'm very lucky to sit where I sit, to have the quote unquote little bit of power slice of the world that I have. And I think that it's really important that I share that with other people. As much as I say now, like, I'm more focusing on me, that is also to say those experiences taught me that community is everything. What you give to the community is everything. And also, you should stand on your damn word. I think that one of the biggest things that drag performers miss out on in their day-to-day life outside of drag is they don't take that into their drag, and they don't take those experiences into their drag of saying, okay, if someone's different than me and I'm performing and I don't know why they're here, or there's this drunk white girl at the bar and you don't know what's going on with her, well, how do you deal with her at work? How do you deal with these people present, you know, that you would not normally deal with in everyday life, but they're here at the bar?
Because you're at your job.
Right, you're at your job. And I think that that's something that we're getting away from again. Like, people are kind of like, wait, this is a job, this is a thing that we're doing. And I think pulling what your experiences are from the day into that now is just as important. Especially with the alternative girls and things of that nature. I hear a lot, you know, there are certain types of drag that they like to do, but there is a way of doing alternative drag and doing different pieces of that professionally and respectfully of others as well, which I think is super important. So taking those things from your day-to-day life and injecting them in that capacity, I think is important.
Amazing. Now we're getting to a couple fun questions. What are you a complete snob about?
What am I a complete snob about? I'm a complete fucking snob about my coffee. I'm a fucking coffee whore. So the funny thing is, which now we're boycotting Disney now, so I can't be like, here's my Epcot cup. But, so hold on. So I'm a big fan of my Starbucks. I'm a big fan of my PSL, especially because now
you're a pumpkin spice girl.
Absolutely. Do you see my eye makeup? I'm a pumpkin spice girl.
See, the pumpkin spice girls try to rush summer out of here, so I'm always like, have a seat, girl, and go have a margarita. Summer's not over yet.
I'm gonna tell you what. I used to, and this is terrible, but when I was heavier, I hated the summer, but I also think it's just because it's hot and it's too much shit and whatever. I actually this year somewhat enjoyed the summer, and now I'm not like rushing it.
Yeah.
But that's also because now I go to the gym 6 days a week, and I'm like, oh shit, you have to function.
Right.
So the heat doesn't bother me as much. But I am a fall girly, and I'm a snob about Halloween and my all of
you
that.
Should be. You're
and my tattoos. I mean, I'm covered, so that's also another thing. But okay, there you go.
Give me your best Housewives tagline.
Oh my god. So I used to say, so I'm going to do my old drag tagline, which I think counts as both.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing.
A pan to the camera and then give me the line.
Stupid. All right. Okay. Scarlet may be my favorite color, but Masters is what I'll do to your husband.
Yeah. So fun. I love it. Okay. So here we go. We live in a world full of takers, but the only thing a bitch can take from me is notes.
Oh, work! I live. Oh my god.
Okay, let's wrap this up because we got to get your show started.
We do.
What is something that you wish drag queens would stop doing?
Oh,
drag entertainer, or you know?
Yeah. Snatching money.
Oh god, I hate that one so much.
So and I'm gonna just say this because I'm a burlesque girl. I'm a burlesque and singing girl. Okay, people as you see from this, that you could see it. People have to throw money here usually because sometimes it's hard to walk around the whole theater and take things. It's a lot. So people will throw money in that culture. So if we are taking the time to like come over and you're trying to connect with somebody and do the thing, and you're like, I'm walking over. And you just snatch the damn money. God, it drives me nuts. Now I am going to say, because some old school girls, and I've had this conversation, when you snatch money, it's not like, you're not like, and that's snatching. No.
Yeah.
Snatching is like, buy. Like it's so a mess. Annoying. I hate it. And please wash your damn drag. And that's all.
Ooh, okay. That part. All right, last question. All right, drag pageants used to be the crown jewel of the community. Why do you think they lost some shine, and what do you think could bring them back to the spotlight?
So I actually came to pageants because of why I think they lost their shine. I think that pageants did something incorrect in rejecting a lot of trans performers and rejecting a lot of people of color in a lot of ways, and people with tattoos, basically anything that made our community different and great, because our diversity is what makes us great. I know a lot of pageants shied away from. And I say this as a promoter of a pageant because when I got involved, now it's been 2 years, it was because we were starting the conversation with Miss Gay America about the inclusion of trans individuals and letting that actually occur. I think that pageants have lost some of their luster because the new batch of folks that are involved in drag really want to respect where drag came from more than I think people give them credit for. And when you really take drag at its history and where it started with those trans individuals, with those people throwing the brick, with those people being involved and fighting for our rights, and really showing who they were, even in an instance where they didn't feel welcomed in any other way. And that's what pageants were able to do at its highest level at the time. And I think for a period of time, it faded away. I think now it's coming back with the level of authenticity that's now coming out. Authenticity is judged more heavily now in a lot of pageants than it was in the past. You used to be able to read a 100-page document, and if you nailed every single thing, well, you got a crown on your head. Now it's not so much. Now you actually have to show who you are, and it is a job interview, and you have to be present. And I think that that's ultimately what will cause its renaissance, is people really being themselves, people like me being able to run pageants or even compete in them. Even last year when I owned the pageant, my hand tattoos would have precluded me in a lot of areas from doing it. So that's still a lot of archaic beliefs that we are coming back from. And I think once those things are reverted, you'll see a lot more pageant folks coming back around. I think Ivy Drip is a fabulous example of that. Our current rating symbol of excellence from MGA.
Shout out to Ivy Drip.
Absolutely. Incredible talent, incredible, beautiful gowns. But someone with their talent and how they carry themselves, that maybe 20 years wouldn't have been a thing, but is a phenomenal performer and a phenomenal person, someone who deserves it.
And we wouldn't have even been able to see their talents because of
because they just wouldn't have been allowed. And same thing, Naomi St. James, fabulous performer, fabulous person, Miss Gay America Femme this year. But it's the first year we even have them. It's the first year she was allowed to run, So we have performers, and not to, because I can't say their names, but we have cis female performers that are competing in our pageant this year. That would have never been able to happen. So those are all individuals that I think now it is their time. And although we have a crazy storm going on with different political things and the climate of our country, we do still have the ability to kind of make our own little safe spaces and create those for our community. And I'm glad that we're doing that for all of our community now and not just parts of it.
I love that. And I want to throw in really quick, there is a part of the climate that is coming from our own community that's very disruptive. I've seen several posts now with gay people coming out, or gay men coming out and saying that the T is not a part of their LGBTQIA. And I'm just like, chill out. Like, you wouldn't even be here without it. Like, most of gay culture comes from trans individuals or underground ballroom scene or things that you wouldn't even be a part of if it wasn't for these individuals.
And my biggest thing is also with all of that is it does not affect your life.
Not at all.
And this is the whole thing, none of this affects your life, right? Like, you're even as a queer person.
Just like us being who we are doesn't affect heterosexual people.
Correct. Live your life. If you are not on my lawn, if you don't want me to be on your damn lawn, I own property.
Yeah,
I don't want you on mine.
Yeah,
you're good. Like, that's fine. So, and I think that's what it is too. Like, it is just about respect. It's about caring for your fellow man, woman, they, non-binary person, anything of that nature. How people want to be and how they want to present is entirely up to them.
Exactly.
If you don't agree with it, it don't fucking matter, because that's how they want to present, who they want to be. And you get to do the same thing, because you live in a country where that should be the case. So you should reject ideas that are not allowing you to do that. So that's what freedom is, and it exists for everybody.
Yes.
And that's how it should go. So I hope that members of our community understand that the T is a very integral part of our entire acronym and who we are as people, and that needs to be better. So do
Wonderful.
better.
Well, thanks for sitting down with me. I love this conversation. I can't wait to share it with everyone. Good luck tonight. You're going to kill
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
And thanks for coming along on this journey with me. And make sure you like and subscribe so that I can keep putting out content like this so that you can get an inside look at my world, the world of drag, and people who are different from you. I love you guys. I'll see you again. Kiss noise. Oh, give me a hug.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
Now I am just waiting to perform. I have like an hour until I go on. So I'm just chilling backstage. I'm going to check out some of the performance and we're going to get changed and get ready to hit the stage.